This is Kevin Pruitt with another episode of Rising Tide Startups, and my special guest today is the Belle du Bally, Fanny Myth. Fanny, thanks for joining us in Rising Tide Startups.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm actually super pumped to share all my story and so for those who doesn't know yet with the accent, I'm actually French. I'm currently in France, but I'm going to travel to Thailand in a couple of weeks because I basically spend my time in front of my computer traveling 4 months a year, kind of. So I went in the US, I went in Africa. I'm actually a military daughter, so I used to move every 2 or 3 years. So it's kind of in my genes. Again, I'm addicted to travel. I don't know.
Your DNA. There you go.
Exactly. Yes. So I do personal branding coaching for entrepreneurs just to help them actually get high-paying clients. So it's basically helping them to stand out and become trusted authority. So everybody is going to look at them and they're going to attract their tribe and they're going to get amazing opportunities, profitable deals, getting high-paying clients, getting on stage. I'm just actually teaching what I've done myself first. So it's really something I definitely preach because I hate people teaching stuff they've never done themselves.
Yeah.
So, and I know there is a lot of experts out there calling them experts, but yeah. So I actually so my life is kind of tricky in some ways because I moved every 2 or 3 years. I started my digital agency, first one, 3 years ago when I came back from the US. So I was broke, single, back to my parents' house. I was recently graduated with a master in marketing and I was supposed to live the American dream. And I came back to France and nothing actually worked out the way I wanted. But I was okay, you want to travel. So you're going to actually launch your own agency. This way you can just take your laptop and do whatever you want. And the first 8 months, and this is, I definitely live the entrepreneur hustle, just grinning age 24 all the time, not really getting the results I wanted, attracting the wrong clients, working with the worst clients ever. And after 8 months I was half burned out, half depressed because nothing was actually going on the way I wanted. And I actually met my first mentor. So Phil Graham was doing Facebook ads. And my first agency was just getting French clients, which was the worst idea ever. And then I moved my business online. So I was actually branding myself super naturally because I studied marketing for years and years and years. I invested in myself about $100,000 between the university, the mentors, the mastermind, all that stuff. So actually my clients don't have to. And what I loved, so I started my first agency was Facebook ads agency. And I was actually branding myself. And I was actually pretty successful with my agency. And after a couple of months, people started to reach out to me. And it was so fun because they were this is amazing what you do, but do you also do personal branding coaching? Because we see you everywhere. And this is just amazing what you're doing. And I want to do the same. And I'm holy moly, I never thought about it, knowing I did marketing consulting for a bunch of different companies, in France and abroad. And I'm yeah. And by the way, there was this missing part with the Facebook ad agency is that I needed this social interaction, really getting to know people in a personal level and help them turn their story and who they truly are into a marketing kind of machine. So I shut off my Facebook ad agency. It was just it just clicked,
Right.
And I was this is the passionate side hustle that I wanted. And I was I want to actually go all in my personal branding coaching, because when I started to coach people at the beginning, I was so passionate and I got so amazing results. One of my clients, she got $30,000 in sales after a month or two. Another one, 10x his revenues. Just seeing people getting so much clarity. Because the fact is I help people. So it's a 4 weeks program. And I basically help people to get crystal clear on their personal brand strategy. So because as soon as you're confused, you can take massive action, and you actually feel paralyzed.
Be confused too. If you're confused, your clients are confused.
Yeah, of course. And there is a lot of people who wants to brand themselves by themselves, kind of trying to figure it out, which is the kind of the worst stuff ever, because you're going to brand yourself in different ways in a short period of time. So you're going to confuse your audience, and they're going to actually run away. So this is really the stuff. And when you're an entrepreneur, you have to invest yourself, but you have to do it in the right order, kind of.
Right.
So a lot of people are like, what I'm going to do, I'm investing in a website, in a business card. Like, and I did that the exact same like mistake when I started out. But the fact is, like, you have to be crystal clear on your brand first and know exactly how to put yourself out there so you can actually attract your ideal clients. But if you have no clue who your ideal clients is, that's kind of like tricky.
Right.
And then you're going to come up with an offer that your ideal client doesn't want because you don't even know who your ideal client is.
Yeah.
So as soon as you know who your ideal client is, you can actually refine your offer and also your brand message. And if you create a website with the wrong brand message, no testimonial, like no results, no social proof, that's not going to convert. And then you're going to wondering forever why your website doesn't convert. But because you haven't figured out your message, your avatar, what your content strategy should be, and how to network properly, because at the end, you want to take action and focus on networking with people. This is what's going to bring you high-paying clients. And you can easily actually get like 10 leads per month, easily, like between 5 and 10, and convert at least 1 or 2, which make you a famous like $10,000 per month mark that everybody's looking for. But this is a good start because some people want to be millionaires and other with just like 10K per month, they're going to live their ideal lifestyle.
Yep.
So this is really like about what your ideal lifestyle is, how much do you need per month, and then how do you get to this mark?
Well, you're making this really difficult on me because you are giving so much value in such a short period of time. There's so many questions I want to ask. I don't know where to start. I'm a little concerned that you really don't know your stuff. I really am. I'm a little concerned that you're just speaking about things you're not really that learned in. So yeah,
It's impossible.
what an amazing! I mean, you like gave us a class right there in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to shift the interview completely. I'm not going to ask any questions. You're just going to teach me how to make 10,000 a month. Okay, you have 20 minutes. All right, let's go right now. I mean, what? Wow, what an amazing that was just the intro, folks.
That was the intro. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, wait till I really unleash her.
And this is what happens when you get passionate with what you do. And this is really what I want to help entrepreneurs do, is just monetizing their passion, and just like wake up every single freaking morning just super pumped and full of energy and ready to impact more lives. Yeah. Because eventually I'm going to impact your life, all the listeners' life, and they're going themselves impact more lives. So it's kind of like a chain, which is freaking amazing.
Well, and plus, I mean, you talked about your DNA earlier, you know, the kind of military DNA. You're going to have a little bit of passion just from where you're from. So, no,
it's like the famous question, where are you from? I don't know. I spent half of my life in France, the other half in Africa, Antilles, US, UK. I don't really know. So, but it's amazing because you can have this like outside perspective, which makes me totally unique when it comes to like coaching. Yes. And this is something that entrepreneurs have to know, is like, what are their secret special weapon, which is actually the secret sauce, basically.
Right.
And the famous question, what makes you different? Why should I hire you? This simple question, if you know your 3 like main elements that help people to know you, connect with you, and trust you,
right?
You'll like get the clients you want. And this is really not a hustle. Like, personal branding is just about being a normal human being and know how to start a proper conversation.
Could you say that again? Say that again really slowly.
I know.
Personal branding,
I would say, is the heart of starting a proper conversation, normal conversation, in a non-awkward way. I don't know if it's understandable with the French accent, but basically it's to know how to start a conversation in a genuine and authentic way.
With potential clients.
With potential clients, but also with influencers, with fellow entrepreneurs.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, we could do exactly the same. And this is fun because 2 days, it was yesterday. Yesterday, I did like a live with a friend of mine, and he's doing personal branding as well. Mm-hmm. But the beauty with personal branding is that you can have a bunch of coach, you can have a bunch of podcaster, you can have a bunch of people building website or funnels or helping people to write books, for example. But what is going to make you choose one instead of the other one? It's like going to a bar. Like, you have 2 bars. Yep. If you go to one, you choose one. I mean, the mojito or the wine or like the beer at the same price and basically the same taste. So what is going to make you go to one instead of the other one? And this is just probably the atmosphere, probably because your friends used to go there,
Right.
probably because the team is so much more fun. So it's just about the universe of your brand, not because of your price of your experience. Because eventually there is a lot of people coaching about personal branding and how to get high paying clients, and actually your first high paying clients online. But what makes me totally unique is eventually my French accent, my story, my lifestyle, the way I'm like my true self, or just because people know me in a personal level. Like you could send me clients because we had this real conversation face to face live,
Sure.
and we had the chance to get to know each other in a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
This is what makes you totally unique. It's not because you bring results to your clients, because you should actually bring results to any of your clients. This is not like something fancy. Like a lot of people, they're like, oh yeah, I bring results to my clients. I'm like, yeah, but actually they're paying you. Like this sounds logical. Like, I don't
It's
know.
your job.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like that's where it's like you go to the bakery and the guy's like, oh my gosh, he liked my bread. I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyways.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
So this is a little segue. Okay. So, and you probably of all the people listening to this are going to enjoy this the most, but so when we lived in France, my son was probably 8. And so we were driving down the road and we drove beside the bakery, the boulangerie that was just closest to our house. And I mean, we loved going there because it was, I mean, French bread is superb.
Yeah.
But there was this line literally all the way around the building, down the sidewalk, and he literally in English said out the window, he goes, "It's bread, people." He said, "It's not gold." And I thought,
I mean, French people have like a certain type of humor. We play a lot with like irony, and I know there is a lot of American people who doesn't understand our humor. So like, this is not my tribe. I'm sorry. Like you have to have a bit of like self-depreciation stuff. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Absolutely, yeah, it was funny, just his observation of value, you know, on just bread over gold. But anyway, so let's shift back and let's talk a little bit about the shift that you made. You said you went from kind of your Facebook agency to virtually what you're doing now. So how long ago was that, and what was kind of the, you know, just really unpack the point that caused you to make that shift?
So first of all, so I studied and worked in the marketing industry for 6 years, basically.
In
so
the
I started
US?
it was in France. It was with a couple of like American companies, a bit of like UK companies as well.
Right.
So it was like really a mix of like different countries
Sure.
and different type of people as well, because this is just like the way I am. I just can be close to like two French people. I'm like, I need a bit of like
Multicultural
adventures. Let's say. Yeah. So I started my first digital agency was a marketing consulting agency. I was doing community management, email marketing. So basically I do a lot of things. I used to, and I study a lot, and I study myself. I know myself. I teach myself stuff like on my own. So the first 8 months I got clients, I got money for sure, but I was definitely not passionate, because when you study stuff for years and then you do that in a daily basis, you understand what you're passionate or not about doing. Exactly. So you know what to outsource, what to focus on, where is your biggest strength and kind of like zone of genius. And so after 8 months, I was like, I just don't feel fulfilled. I got the money, but I'm like hustling age 24. It made me tired. So I was like, And then I randomly like met my mentor, Phil Graham, who was doing Facebook ads. And I ended up being like, oh, actually Facebook ads is great because it's still like in marketing. It's like a mix of analytical, strategy, creative. So that's great. So I kind of like went all in this one, because I really like follow my gut a lot of time. And I was like, I think that could work. And so the transition was really kind of like smooth, because I started to like study Facebook ads, because it was kind of like new, but Facebook ads is just like a tool you're going to use to get clients. It's like another way to get clients. So it was just about like learning how the tool works and then just apply all my marketing knowledge to that. And also getting much better at copywriting, because my English was not, let's say, as good as now a couple of years ago. So then I think I ran my Facebook agency for a year. And when I got those feedbacks, it was funny because I love to kind of like disrupt the industry and do stuff that nobody does. And I started to do those. It was actually a challenge for my mentor, like a 30-day challenge, posting one video per day.
Mm.
So I just started to do like simple, easy video to listen to, like 5 minutes. Because the first one, it took me like 3 hours to edit because I wanted it to be perfect, the famous like perfect stuff.
There you go.
I was like, I'm not going to spend 3 hours per day editing a freaking video. That's not even possible. Like, I want to do something with my life. So my first video, I freaked out because I was like, all those limited beliefs we all have.
Right.
There is incredible people than me. There are people with more experience. There are people more knowledgeable. There are people with a better accent. There are people more native or well experienced.
I don't know about the accent.
Better than me.
I think you went on the accent.
Now, because what happened is that my first mentor, so this one was actually my second one. The first one told me that my French accent would prevent me to have American clients. So for me, unconsciously, I thought, and this guy was American. So unconsciously, I was like, okay, so definitely the French accent is not going to help. and consciously, I was like, this is true. Like, it was my reality. Like, my French accent is going to be awful. Like, it's not going to work. That people are going to start criticizing, blah, blah. And the more I was posting my videos, so I was actually getting much better. The second one was like 20 minutes and then 10 minutes. And then I was actually doing a video in 10 minutes.
I'm doing them live now.
Yeah, no editing at all. And so I started to post those videos in like different groups, my profile, and everything was kind of like snowballing. Because I got a bunch of compliments, a bunch of like people telling me I was like so inspiring, learning from my stuff, getting results. And it was just simple videos, but just with like the French humor.
Sure.
Super simple, super quick, just me like in front of my camera, like no filters, not much makeup. And this is how those people came to me, be like, do you do personal branding coaching? So then at that time I was traveling in the US. And weirdly, I got kind of like a mindset block. I couldn't work for like a month, 2 months. I didn't know why, but something was wrong. Something was off. And I felt like it wasn't the stuff I was supposed to do in the long term. And at the same time, people came to me like, hey, do you do personal branding coaching? And I was just asking myself, yeah, I did coaching before and I loved it, seriously. And I do love personal branding because I'm the first one with like no filters. Like, you meet me in the street now, in camera, online, that is the same exact person. And I was like, I definitely think there is like a calling kind of at that time.
Right.
And I don't know what I did. I just shut up my agency. I was like, kind of like overnight decision. And I rebranded myself. It took me 2 months, basically, because I already had my audience and I already know like I was actually credible in both of those fields. Yep. So it wasn't complicated as a transition. And yeah, I started to help people, like start with like a mastermind, like helping about like 10 different people with their personal brand. And then I started to charge, like at the beginning it was like 2K and then 3K. And then I invested in myself like 5K mastermind and stuff. So I started to raise my prices to like 5K for like my basic package. Now I just came up with like a 10K package, actually 9K package, with like a mindset partnership with like an amazing guy. His name is Clay. And is like killing it with like mindset, reprogramming your mind. Because usually when it comes to high ticket package, there is a wrong perception of it, is that you have to feel aligned with your offer. Right. Because I know I bring results to my clients are happy, they're sending me clients, etc., etc. I feel totally confident in selling my package at that price. But this is actually a process. And I invested myself in a bootcamp, 2 months bootcamp for high ticket sales. So it wasn't just like an overnight, oh, I'm going to sell a high ticket package.
Right. Go from $49 to 10K.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is the imposter syndrome.
Yeah. But I mean, we are still, and I remember one of the questions was like, what is one of your daily struggle?
Right.
It's with your business. I think the mindset definitely like with us, like this is it just mess up with like our mood, with our ability to take massive action. And we all go through those like ups and downs. You can have no clients, you have the worries about having no clients. You have 10 clients, you have the worries about bringing results and going to the next level. You make $1 million, you have bigger like responsibilities, bigger problems, bigger worries. So all the time, your brain is going to come up with like new problems, even if you solve one.
Exactly.
But this is just the way we're designed. So,
And it's the world that's changing. I mean, the world is, it's a very dynamic place, that we live in. And it is a constantly change, especially in the technology sector.
yeah, and the digital world just like grow like so fast that you have to adapt and you have to like follow the new trends. But at the same time, it's like super overwhelming because you don't really know where to start. And this is why I just love my program, because I'm just like going to focus on that and we're going to do that and that's it. And you follow that for a couple of months and you're going to get results. And this is why I love adding mentors. And I have like 4 mentors now. I attracting them just with my content. So when people are like, "Oh, do I get mentors?" I'm like, you don't have to get mentors. They have to find you. But yes, like having a mentor, a coach, investing in mastermind, like stuff like that can really like skyrocket you first,
Right.
like personally, but also your business.
Exactly. Yeah. And you
get it.
said you invested in yourself, in a big way. Now it is going to, you did that because you intended for that to pay off in a big way as well. So you mentioned kind of the mindset, overcoming this mindset is kind of the first, one of your obstacles that you deal with daily. What's another obstacle that you face on a fairly regular basis that you think, our audience would face in their business as well?
Procrastination.
I can't even imagine that would be an issue with you. You're going to have to unpack that one a little bit.
This is weird. Like I'm a big, massive action taker, just like my clients.
Yeah, which is kind of the antithesis of procrastination. So
I'm
wondering about this one.
But this is something I do in the first session with every single of my clients. I do like a limited belief exercise, which is basically you take a blank paper, you write like a line in the middle to create 2 columns. Mm-hmm. On the left column, you list all the excuses, the stories, like the limited belief. Like mm-hmm. I call them the but belief, because there is always a but or a if, like, the but belief. Yeah. I know. And on the right side, I actually ask every single of my clients to list all the counter excuses. I mean, if you're like, I'm not credible enough, so I can write this post, for example, I'm going to ask them to list all the proof that they are credible enough. So all the mastermind they invested, like for me, for myself, I would put like, I invested $100,000 in my own education. Mm-hmm. I bring amazing results to my clients. I can get results for myself, blah, 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 blah. So then you have your old story and your new story. And because we all come up with limited belief, so we can kill limited belief and there is new one coming up. And those limited belief create self-doubt. Doesn't make you feel 100% confident in taking action. So what do? Procrastination is just the best friend of fear. That's it. So for me, because I'm totally clear, I bring massive clarity to my clients and I bring massive clarity to myself, which is great. So as soon as you have massive clarity on what's the next step for you to take, then you don't have any other choice but taking action. But your brain wants to keep you safe. So it doesn't want you to take action because it's going to challenge your limited belief and it's going to challenge, eventually you're going to come up with like new obstacles, new challenges.
Right.
So even if I do take action on a daily basis, I could take 10 times more. I don't, because I'm struggling with my own limited belief. And it's just being a normal human being. I just don't have the same limited belief that anybody else out there, because eventually I travel my entire life. This is not my native language. So now I used to like challenge myself just having normal conversation with people. So we all have different level of confidence. And as I say, confidence is a mood. This is not a skill. You can be extrovert or introvert. We don't freaking care. I can be in a mood of being confident in camera like right now because I used to do that, but I don't feel confident in sharing my feelings with my eventual boyfriend. So same with like talking to like 10 people on stage versus talking to 1 million, like to 1,000 people like Tony Robbins does. Because he went to those different stages that make him more confident. And so on.
I mean, I love the point you just made that you said is kind of the first step when you're coaching with a client is list those two things. And that's something that we truly could do on a daily basis. Just a very short exercise, take a Post-it note, draw a line down the middle and say, okay, what are some beliefs that are limiting me today, that are causing me to doubt, that are causing me to fear? And what are the things that I've done or I've experienced or I know that can overcome those? And I really like that, because I think that lays a really solid foundation for that. You really have to you have to lay that foundation before you can build anything else, because you can tell people everything they want that you need them to know, but if they don't have the foundation to put it into practice, it's just wasted time.
Yeah, I mean, the implementation, there is so many information out there.
Yeah.
So my job is not to give you more information, is to help you get clarity, so then I can kick your butt so you can take action. It's basically what my coaching program looks like. Because at the end, we need someone that push us to the direction we're not feeling comfortable. And I do have an accountability partner, like, in a daily basis, and we chat like a lot. I do still have my mentors checking on me like a couple of times in a month, and I do the same. Like, this is really about taking action.
Right.
You can be the most talented person out there, the more knowledgeable, the more amazing one, the more invested, the most it is in education. If you don't take action and show your tribe what you know and what makes you different, you won't get the results you're looking for.
Well, I think you just found your new tagline, though. It's the butt kicker with the French accent. I want to have a T-shirt that has that tagline on it.
You know what? I'm going to like print a shirt. I just don't know yet what I'm going to put on it. Like, Frenchie is going to appear for sure. But when I tried like Frenchie shirt, I just got like a bulldog, like Frenchie bulldog. I'm like, I love, like, I'm going to put my puppy on my shirt then. Like.
Well, you have given us a masterclass today, just in a very short period of time, and I am. This is something, listeners, I encourage you to hit rewind and listen to this again and segments again, and take notes. And but I want to drill down a little bit more, just to kind of get inside your head a little bit, and tell me what inspires you. Is there one person online, just one person that really inspires you, and why?
I would say it's not because he's my mentor, but he's going to be surprised. I'm going to share his name. I think Phil Graham. So I met Phil Graham when I was just starting off. So I had the knowledge, but I didn't really know how to put myself online. And this guy just showed up in my life. I was actually like following his live. I randomly, like on Facebook, there is like the suggestion of people you can connect with.
Right.
And I saw that like blue background, big smile. I was like, intuitively, I was like, I'm going to like, I don't know, connect with this guy. And I just checked his profile, and he was doing like 3 times, I think, lives in his profile with his partner, so Sam. And I started to just like bring value in the live. And I was like, oh, nobody does that. And he was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, I just knew all the answers about Facebook ads because I was actually like studying that for a while with my first mentor.
Yep.
And it was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, okay, this time I'm not going to reach out to this guy. He's going to reach out to me. I don't know why. It was like my challenge. And one day he just reached out to me and it was like, oh, Fanny, like, what's up? Like, thank you so much for bringing value in my lives. How can I help? Or can I help you get your first clients? I'm like, sure. Like, yeah, we still need a mentor somehow. And he started to seriously like train me about like 3 to 5 hours per day for a month and a half.
Wow.
Can you just imagine? Like,
yeah.
And why this guy is so inspiring? First of all, because he's freaking authentic, and we just connected in such genuine way because we had a lot of in common and a lot of like puppy passion, like all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So we weren't actually talking business for like 3 hours, but it took that time to help me move to the next level for free. So I was helping him the way I could just to give back. But this is what inspired me the most, is that as soon as you reach your financial goal and you can build yourself your ideal lifestyle, then you can use your time to help someone in need and who is in the situation you were probably a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago. And this is what happens with me. I'm still young and there is a lot to learn. Like, there is a lot to learn. I'm like 27. I still invested so much in myself, and I probably like know more than people in my age. But it's just that as soon as I'm going to, I don't know, like reach my next financial like milestone, I'm like, now what do I do with my free time? Of course, I'm going to make the most of my life, travel, explore, go on adventure and stuff like that. But my program helps people to get these first high-paying clients that can make a huge difference in their own lives. And I know there is a lot of people out there and marketers helping people to get clients, but how about the high-paying clients? You get one instead of getting like chasing like 3, for example. You can have like 2 to 3 clients per month and you're good to go. And you're going to less work and you're going to build this deep relationship with your clients, which is an amazing experience.
Right.
And because I'm all about relationship and authenticity, this is just like the best stuff ever. So it's basically why I do what I do.
Well, he's never been mentioned before, so that's good that you brought, and he got a free plug on the podcast too. So there you go.
Perfect. I'll connect you guys because seriously, he has like an amazing story too, and it was inspiring in this way, and now I'm inspiring my way, and this is like the greatest stuff ever. Is that the online world is just full of freaking surprise. It's like. Yep. You just wake up and you have like random message for like strangers you didn't know they were existing.
Podcast hosts just
podcast hosts they just reach out to you like, do you want to come in? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I'm really grateful that you came on too. You win. I mean, of all my podcast guests, I think your background behind you is the coolest background we've ever had on the show. So you have to watch this on YouTube to really appreciate the.
Hey guys,
appreciate
this
the
is
background.
From like a random store, so it's actually my wall. So the same. Super great.
Yeah. So tell me a life quote that really inspires you. Is there like a life quote or mantra or whatever that you repeat frequently or you have taped up on the wall or something?
I don't know if it's the exact same one, but basically it's focus on what could go right instead of what could go wrong. I remember
where that came from?
I have no clue. Like the French way to explain it differently from me, but after like the real one, I don't remember.
So tell us that in French.
Concentrez-vous sur ce qui pourrait, concentrez-vous sur les choses positives plutôt que sur les choses négatives. Wow, beautiful.
See how well you speak French.
I know, I speak as fast in French.
You know what's interesting is you had to stop and think. So you speak
because
so
I
much
never
that you
tried to translate it. So.
That's exactly right. That's when I was trying to learn French, what I would do is I would take French words and plug them into an English sentence. And it didn't make much sense, but it was.
Sometimes my parents are like, "Oh, we're going to teach you French again." Like, sometimes I'm like, my brain is just like working in English all day long. So when I try to have like a proper conversation with like French people, I'm like, sometimes I'm looking for like a word. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Hey, it is true. It is a first world problem, but it is true, folks. It happens. So is there one piece of advice, if you could go back 18 months, 24 months, one piece of advice that you would give yourself right before you kind of shifted into your new or your latest, entrepreneurial pursuit, what would be one piece of advice you would give yourself that you think would have been a game changer?
I have one main one and a second one.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
The first one would be definitely find yourself a mentor or a coach, because you're going to save hours.
Yeah.
And hours of a useful hustle.
Yeah.
Because we all try to figure it out in our own. We are all kind of like scared to invest in ourselves because it's our money, and at that time we need money. That's kind of like tricky. But the fact is, like, a mentor or a coach is going to cut off all the stuff you don't need. And you'll have that one person each time it happens to me. Like, I called my mentor in the middle of the night because I was worried about something, or I was wondering which option was the best. And it was like, if I was you, I would pick this one. It's still your decision. You don't have to follow me, but this is what I would do. So just having this like feedback about like, oh, what do you think about my last post? Or do you have any feedbacks on my live or whatever? This is something I do with my clients super naturally. I just send like a vocal message like, oh, I saw like there is this opportunity. By the way, each time you see, I don't know, like a post about high tickets, for example, don't hesitate to comment something. Then unconsciously people are going to associate you with like high tickets offers, stuff like that. This kind of feedback just comes naturally, but I know I'm here for my clients and they're also here for me. because each time they're going to know someone who would need my help, they're going to send them my way, and the reverse. So first of all, I think mentorship and coaching is great because it helps to build inner circle, because then you invest in someone's product. Mm-hmm. I myself invested in like a 5K retreat in Phuket 10 days before like leaving. I was like, I'm going. And because of my inner circle, I could get into this new inner circle.
Right.
So this is really the first advice. And the second one, take freaking messy action. You don't have to be perfect. And by the way, perfection is freaking boring, and people hate just boring people. So I would, just like my videos, my first one, if you take a look at it now, like I'm ashamed. Like this is awful. It looks really bad. Just like my first Facebook post in English or long post stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. Like the English is really like kind of broken. Like there is like grammar errors, but we don't care because the more you put yourself out there, the more it's like taking action. The more you take action, the more you're good at taking action.
Yes. Yeah, that's
just like eating French crepes. Like the more you eat French crepes, the more you get addicted to. So I now use my French touch as my special weapon to stand out, because I put Frenchie everywhere.
Yeah.
And this is great because now people, if they don't really understand my accent, I just make fun of it and fun of myself.
And
I'm like, first of all, you're not in my
the expectation is not there. I mean, the expectation is not, I don't expect someone who's that they did not grow up speaking English natively. I don't expect 100% from that any more than you would expect, even if I'd lived in France for 10 years. You would not expect me to know all the nuances of the language and the exact, you know, the articles to use and the gender and the number and all these things that, you know, they're in the grammatical structure. So it was really interesting. I mean, as you mentioned that, it kind of reminds me of this, you know, a pretty famous quote by Reid Hoffman, who is, you know, created LinkedIn. He talked about, if you're not embarrassed by your first product, you waited too long. You know, so,
exactly.
I mean, that is exactly what you just shared with us. So,
and we all overthink stuff, but you have to take this first step to just like ask the market, am I taking the right decision or not? Like the market is going to tell you. So when people are like, oh, my offer doesn't sell, I'm like, do you know who your ideal client is, first of all, and what they truly want for you, not what they need for you. It's what they want.
Yep.
And of course, if they need it, that's even better.
Sure.
But like I designed my first offer thanks to my first ideal client, who told me basically, I don't want to waste my time. I want like X amount of hours. I want to have this results. I want to have this document, beam. And if you can actually shorter the period of time, that's even better. So my 3 months program ended up in a 1 month program, like all intense, but I could get the same results. So I'm like, my ideal clients told me so. Amazing, let's do that.
Absolutely.
And I didn't have to write things. So.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But you had to drill down and understand what they were asking for. You had to ask the right questions. You had to, you know, dig into it deep enough that you had a really good understanding of what they were looking for and what they wanted. It wasn't just kind of cursory, you know, surface level stuff. So
my first services were like that. I was just like guessing and be like just assumptions. It was like a big mess. But we all do that at first. Even if I studied marketing, I really thought like my strategy was the right one. Yeah. And over the years, I definitely like refined this.
Sure.
And now it just sounds so illogical. And I'm like, that is stupid to do that. But I actually did the stupid stuff first. So I can blame, like, I don't even blame people because I'm like, I was there. So.
Exactly. And you know, that's what has made you who you are. I mean, your coaching business is a kind of a collaborative, it's a mosaic of everything that you've learned, good and bad, you know, to do, the things not to do, and everything together. So, well, Fanny, you have once again, you've given us a masterclass today, and it's just been a tremendous pleasure having you on our podcast. And I want to just close with two quick statements, and then I'll ask you how people can find you online. But the first statement is, the American coach, mentor, person that said your French accent is not an asset was absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. And on behalf of 320 million Americans, we think your English is tremendous. I mean,
Thank you so much. Now
amazing.
I actually truly appreciate my French accent because it brings me clients. So I'm like, oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly. You hang on to it. So how can people find you online?
So my website is going to be out in about like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm not going to give any links, but otherwise fannymyth.com.
They'll be
So
in the show notes because
sure.
this may not go live within that period of time. So that, yeah, they will be in the show notes.
Perfect. And otherwise, just connect with me on Facebook. So Fanny Myth, like blue top, you can miss me. There is a puppy on the picture. So yeah, you can connect with me on Facebook, and on my cover picture, there is the link to my Facebook group. I'm eventually going to relaunch in a couple of like weeks to bring more value, and just I actually do that on my personal profile. So if you want to get more training, like free training, free advice, just know more about my story and how my brand does work. I share daily value on my personal profile, so Fanny Myth. So you can definitely connect with me there.
Well, fantastic. And I'm going to hold you to something here. I would love to have you back on and just give you space to really, maybe we'll do a special show of you just outlining kind of the basics of your program, or the basics of how to, to land clients. And I would love for you to do that. And I think they would really speak to our listeners too. But thank you again for your time, and just thank you for just brightening our day with your countenance and all of your wisdom and experience, and that awesome wall behind you. And we just want to thank you again for just playing your part in helping all boats rise in a rising tide. Fanny, have a great day.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.